Hi guys, welcome. We are doing art today, and I put up a voting schedule today on what picture you guys would like to draw, and it was super close. Hi Aubrey. It came down to the Peeps, Happy Easter Peeps. That is what won today. So I'll wait for a couple more friends to get started. While you're waiting to start, go ahead, grab a pencil. You're going to need an eraser today. So if you have a bigger eraser. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Lily. You're going to need an eraser today because we're going to do a lot of sketching with these peeps. We're going to kind of map them out before we draw them. So you're going to need an eraser, a pencil, whatever you're going to color with. I think I'm going to do watercolors today. And then maybe, I'm going to use my big black marker to do the writing today. So maybe a black marker or a black crayon. So here, I'll put out what I got so far. So these are the things you're going to need today. And then obviously you don't have to use watercolors. You can use crayons, colored pencils, markers, but this is what I'm using. But definitely an eraser. I will say that. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Carrie. So I was just saying the Peeps won today. So we're going to do Happy Easter Peeps. So I was saying you need a watercolor or crayons, colored pencils, whatever you're using to color in. A pencil with a good eraser because we're going to be doing a lot of sketching. And then either I have a black felt tipped marker today for the writing, or you can use a crayon or a colored pencil, whatever you got going on for a black. But it'll just be a little bit easier than using paints. Hi, Jen. So I'm going to wait just a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and get started. How you guys doing this rainy day? It's super chilly in my house. I have never worn so many layers in my life, I swear. Right, a couple more friends here. I hope you guys are all staying warm. I will say this, though. Rain is my all-time favorite weather. I absolutely love the rain, so I'm just loving that it's raining all the time. But I am definitely chilly today. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome. Hi, Darlene. Thanks for commenting, guys. So, Darlene, we said that A won today. We are doing the Happy Easter Peeps. Hey, Curtis. Yeah, it's going to be fun today. We're doing Peeps as per Jasmine McCarthy gave me the idea. She said that she wanted to draw Peeps, and I saw it when I was perusing Pinterest this morning. Got gelato for... Oh, cool. So, did you make your own watercolors, Carrie? No worries, Curtis. I'll catch you another time. Thanks. I know. This has been fun. I love doing the painting. Join us next time. I've never heard of gelato for... I'm thinking gelato, Italian ice cream. No, they are like a smudge stick. Ooh, that's cool. You'll have to snap a picture and send it to me, Carrie. I've never heard of that. I love watercolors, and I have watercolor pencils, watercolor brushes, watercolor pans like this. I love watercolors. That sounds fun. A smudge stick. Hi, Donna. Welcome. They came with my Bible journal kit. Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely send me a picture. I'd love to see them. All right, waiting for a few more people. Then we will go ahead and get started. So make sure you have all your supplies out. If you're just joining me, I said you're going to definitely need an eraser today because we're going to sketch out the shapes of our peeps. And then I said that I was using my big kind of brush tip marker for the writing later. And Carrie and I were talking on this via the comments when I was putting this up, but a lot of people, or actually Patrice started it, and then someone else messaged me and said they did it too. Hi Chris. But they're making these into cards, and I thought, what a cute idea. I love that. So taking these paintings and like fold a card and then paint the painting on the outside of the card. Hi Noreen. And then send it to your loved ones. So I think Happy Easter Peeps is super cute. You could totally send that out as a Easter card to people. So I think that's a great idea. So if you want to do that today, and you can always paint this on something else, cut it out, and then glue it onto your card as well. All right. I think we have about 7 people on. We could go ahead and get started. All right, so let me go ahead and move my supplies. And then we'll get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is we kind of want to sketch out where we're going to be putting everything. So actually, I'm going to grab my ruler real quick. Hold on one second. Here, I thought I had all my supplies. All right. Luckily, my little mini first grade classroom's in my living room where I do all my painting. So I have so many supplies at the ready. Okay, so I'm going to go about, let's see, how big is this guy? About 8 inches. Let's do probably about that much room for my writing. And then I need room for my peeps, and I think the rest of that should be pretty good for the peeps. So what I'm going to do is we're going to draw our peeps first, kind of like sketch them out. Then we're going to sketch out our handwriting, go back through and kind of fix our peeps up a little bit, and then we will go through and color everything. So let's go ahead and get our peeps done. So I'm going to scoot my paper down because I don't need that spot now. Let's go ahead and I'm going to start towards this side. So for our peeps, think of snowmen. We're going to go ahead and do that bottom part of our peep as a nice snowman ball. And then I'm going to do another snowman, and they're kind of, I might even make this one just a little bit wider. They're pretty close together. Hi, Mimi. So make that snowman ball a little bit closer together. Then I'm going to do another snowman ball next to it. And play with the sizing. Maybe you want them a little bit smaller or bigger. Up to you. Just remember you need space for the head and the ears. So you don't want their bodies too big, or else you won't be able to fit the rest of them. So we're kind of just sketching out those bodies. And then as you're sketching out, if you notice, like I'm noticing these two are a little bit smaller than that other guy I drew. So I'm going to draw them a little bit taller. Draw this guy a little bit taller too. Okay, and then I'm going to go through and kind of erase my sketch marks to get my, hi Carol, my clean body for my peep. Ooh, it is like coming down right now. It's loud raining. That's crazy. All right, so there's my bodies. I'm pretty happy with the bottom of them. Now, looking at the peep head, specifically at this picture, they are kind of oval and they're going sideways. So we're going to go ahead and draw our ovals, and they're just going to sit right on top, like I said, a snowman. So we're going to do our little snowman head, and they are coming out a little bit from the body, like they're a little bit longer than the body. So do your little, it's oval. Hold on, I'm trying to, it is hard to draw with the tripod right in the middle of you. All right, and I'm probably going to fix those oval shapes there, but again, just kind of sketching it out. Doesn't have to be perfect right now. You're just trying to get that shape. You know what they kind of look like right now are BB-8s. I feel like I just made a bunch of BB-8s on my paper. All right. So I'm thinking this needs to be a little bit wider. So I'm going to add a little bit of height to this one. A little bit of height to this one. A little bit of height to this one. Okay. And then I'm liking the shape of those. So now I'm going to go back through with my eraser again. And just kind of clean up where I like that head. And then clean up any extra lines around them. Kind of solidify what part I like of it. Okay. And then next, I'm going to do my ears. And now the ears on these guys, again, you're kind of making that oval shape. So we're going to make that oval shape kind of come into the head like so. I'm going to make another one. And another one. Another one. Another one. Like so. Rebecca says, where do you live? It's not raining very hard here. I'm in Anaheim. Like Anaheim, Fullerton kind of area. I'm like right on that cusp where they meet. And it is, yeah, it's pouring outside right now. Or maybe it's just loud because it's coming off of my roof really loud. I don't know. But it is loud. I'm surprised you guys can't hear it. All right, so these are our ears. Okay, so now let's see. I think this ear is a little bit too close. I'm going to move this guy this way. Make him a little bit smaller. That's why I said bring an eraser today. We're doing a lot of erasing. All right, so we have our 3 cute little peeps here, bunny peeps. Now I'm going to go ahead, and obviously you can't see the end of their ear right here, so I'm going to erase those ends that I created in their heads. And then same thing with their bodies. You can't see where their bodies meet their heads, so we're going to go ahead and erase that line. Peeps be poppin'. You know, the funny thing is, Jasmine, is peeps are cute, but I don't like the taste of peeps either. Hi, Patricia. All right, let's see here. Okay, so let me fix this guy's head. He's a little bit Too close. He needs a rounder body. So as you're erasing, if you kind of notice, you fix the shape of your peeps. These are definitely just BB-8s with ears right now. All right. Me neither. Hi, Joe. All right, so we got our peeps here. Now let's go ahead and sketch out their faces. So they have 2 cute eyes and then a little nose. Definitely way too much sugar, yeah. I remember when I was younger, though, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, or I'm telling you something horrible to make a mess out of your microwave, so put a paper plate down, is have peep fights. So you take 2 peeps out of the package, and you put toothpicks in them, like stab them as if they're having like little swords, and then you microwave them. I don't remember how long you microwave them for. I don't even think it's that long. And they grow bigger, and then eventually one pokes the other one, and it pops. So peep fights. Google it. I'm sure there's like a certain amount of time frame to do a peep fight. So quarantine life. Have fun with that one. All right. So here are bunnies. Okay, now we need to draw some grass underneath them. So we're just going to draw some little rectangles under them. You can go ahead and erase this line. I'm sure all the moms are like, why did you just tell us this? It's going to be a sugary mess. I can't remember if it actually like popped and made a mess on the rest of the microwave. I feel like it just made a mess on the plate. Let's hope so. All right, then we're going to do another one. Rectangle. So we're just kind of making some, it almost looks like that stuff that is in Easter baskets, that like green cellophane grass, how it comes in those little pieces. I feel like that's what's sitting underneath our peeps here. So just drawing some curved cellophane lines here. And Lily and Isabel, I just loved your picture from yesterday. It turned out so cute. Great job. You guys did awesome. And then we have another one going this way. And then we have another one kind of coming this way. So they're kind of crossing over each other, almost like little X's underneath each one. And these kind of look funny now. They'll look better once they have a little bit of color on them. And you can always change the shape or make them longer or thicker when you're painting. This is kind of just sketching it out. All right. And I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and sketch the writing, but we're going to paint our peeps and everything before we do the writing. That way, if it's wet, it'll have time to dry and it won't mess up our writing down below. So let me go ahead and pull up my writing real quick. So it kind of has it in like a fake calligraphy. So I'm going to go a little bit slow on this one. And if anyone knows me, when it comes to doing writing, it takes me forever because I want it to look exactly like the thing I'm looking at. And you kind of have to plan out, too, when you're writing it because you're writing Happy Easter. So make sure you leave yourself enough room. I've definitely, and I hope I'm not jinxing myself now, but I've definitely written out something completely and then realized as I'm doing the last 2 letters, I didn't allot myself enough room, and that was very sad. All right, so there's our H, and then our A is kind of up, flying high over here, so we're going to go ahead and do our A, and it's really tall with a very long tail. That's going to come up. So we're going to go ahead and do the A, and then I'm going to actually let me cut this in half and bring it down. And this doesn't have to be perfect either, because when you do your marker or crayon, whatever you're using to write this later, you can kind of change it up if you make any mistakes. So it's kind of coming up at a sharp edge right here. And then these P's, I'm going to start my P kind of, it's about right here next to my H, and go down. And this A is kind of connecting up here. And here's the top to my P. And they kind of have short tails. And then I'm going to leave a lot of space right here because it's very high arch for this P. And then we're going to leave a little bit of space and do another P, same way. Big loop and down, closing off that P. And then I'm going to do my Y, and my Y again is really high up next to this P. And it has a sharp turn. Down, coming on. Oops. Kind of go down this way. And then across. Like so. And then actually this loop is much smaller than I created. It's kind of going up straight into there. And then the P's, I'll kind of fix those when I add my pen, so I'm not going to make those 3D. All right, and then Easter is up almost towards the grass here. And then the same length as my Y. And then this end is coming across, going down. And then again, my A, just like this one, is coming up really high. So we're going to go ahead and go up here, make a loop. Again, you don't have to really focus on how perfect your letters are, because once you do your black marker over, you can edit any mistakes that you do. Now the S has a really interesting kind of slant to it. So it's coming up, down, touching this loop, and then coming out. So we're going to go ahead and create that. It has a very short tail of the S there. Bring mine in a little bit. Okay, and then my T is a cross, which is awesome. Love that. That's the true meaning of Easter, not just peeps and Easter bunnies. So we're going to do our cross. And then my E is starting kind of up where the base of this S is. Down. And I'm going to actually finish my R before I add my details. Okay, so then go around, finish, and then the thickness of my R is on this side. And then down. All right, so then we have Happy Easter. Let me scoot up a little bit. And then Peeps is just kind of like straight letters, not cursive. And so I'm going to kind of center this probably between my P and the end of my, yeah. So starting right below my P. And I'm not even going to add any dimension to it because when I add my marker, it'll add all the dimension I need for straight lettering. So E, E. My paper's kind of short for my P. That's my P. And then my S. And the S goes a little bit deeper than the P. So it's like that kind of goes a little bit deeper. So that is my Happy Easter Peeps. Actually, I can almost make my Peeps. I think I'm going to sorry, as I erase all of this. I'm going to make my Peeps a little bit bigger and take up a little bit more space. So my E. Make my E's a little bit bigger. Then my P. And then my, hi John, welcome. My S, again, starting at the top. And then kind of digging down a little bit lower than my P. Okay, so now that we have our writing done, we're going to come back up to our little cute peeps here. So our first peep is pink. Actually, before I start painting, are you guys ready to color in, or do you need a little bit more time? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, or a heart if you're ready. If you need a little bit more time, don't do anything, and I will just kind of set myself up while you guys are catching up. The lettering is always the hardest. I feel like that takes way longer than even the drawing part. So, but like I said, when we go back through with whatever black you're using, you'll be able to fix up any edges if need be. So don't be too concerned with how your lettering looks. All right, I got one heart is ready. All right, Boaz and Elizabeth are ready. All right, Carrie's ready. Anybody else ready? Elizabeth is definitely ready with all these hearts and likes. Hi, Shelly, welcome. Okay, Lily and Isabel are ready? Awesome. Okay, so that's 4. So let's go ahead and get, so I'm going to do, actually, you know what? I do not have a pink in my watercolor pan. So let me grab out my watercolor colored pencil real quick. Oh, that's purple. Maybe I'll just use a watercolor pen. That might go a little bit faster. Oh, sorry. No, we are not. Okay. I'll give you a little bit more time. No worries. Okay, so I'm going to grab out my watercolor pen instead since I don't have a pan color for my pink. And Lily and Isabel, take your time. I'm just going to go ahead and slowly color my peep here. All right, so with your peep, go ahead and start coloring it in. Watch out for the edges of your green grass you created. Oh, okay, Elizabeth isn't doing it. Got it. So we're just coloring in that peep. And let's see. Yeah, I'm actually going to go over my eyes and my nose just because we're going to be doing those black and I can still see it. If this was a darker color, I wouldn't go over them, but I can see pretty well with the pink. All right, so there's our pink peep. Let me look. My computer turned off. Yellow peep is the next one. So now I'm going to head back and use my watercolors. Let me use my bigger watercolor brush. Hi, Erin. Okay, let's dip into my yellow here. And again, this is a lighter color, so I'm going to go ahead and cover over my face. So remember again, if you are using watercolors, that the less water you use, the darker your color is going to be. So if you want it to be more pastel, then use a lot more water. If you want it more vibrant, then go ahead and use less water. All right, now we're on the last peep here, and he is kind of a sage green in the picture that I'm looking at, but I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and do like a lime. Here, let me get my water over here so I'm not cutting over the picture. I'm going to make him more of a lime green. I think these are very spring colors. And this would be super cute if you're just jumping on. We're talking about making these into cards, like doing this as a front of a card that you're sending to a loved one. Or if you already painted it on a different piece of paper, after it dries, you can cut it out and glue it onto a card. All right. And then next, we're going to go ahead and do the little green underneath our bunnies here. And since my bunny here is kind of lime green, I'm going to go ahead and pick a darker green for the grass so that way it doesn't blend in with him. So I'm going to add a little bit more green. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to my bunny here because he's a little bit washed out. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab that darker green. So I'm going to do more of a forest green, but I'm going to add a lot of water to it. So hopefully it's a little bit washed out, not as dark as it normally is. There we go. And you can totally use the lime green if you want. It just depends. What I have available to me is that kind of bright lime green for my bunny. So maybe you had a little bit more of a different color, then you could use a different color green on yours. Hey, Cole. Hey, Jack. Welcome. You can totally do this with your watercolor pens, Jack. This would be a great one for it. You might have to watch the replay, though. So when I'm done with my video, Jack, I'll stop it and it'll have it so you could rewatch it and pause it as you need it. I don't know if you guys can hear my rain, but it is hitting so hard. It's crazy. So again, just going through and covering those little grass pieces. I said earlier that it kind of reminded me of the like cellophane grass that you see in Easter baskets, which would be very appropriate. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and leave those bunnies like that. Give me a heart if you're ready to move on to the next step. I'm going to move on to my lettering now. So if you need a little bit more time, don't do anything. If you are ready to move on, give me a heart. I think while I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and edge around my bunnies. So again, give me a heart if you are ready to move on to the next step. I'm going to go back through and just add a little bit more color to my bunnies. I'm seeing a lot of hearts from Darlene. Carrie, how you doing? Isabel and Lily, how you doing? Oh, Carrie's good. Okay. All right. Jasmine, you doing good? Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and move on to the lettering now. So I'm going to take my felt-tipped black marker here. It's kind of like a brush-tipped. And I'm going to go ahead and trace inside all of my writing here. So when I have bigger pieces, I go ahead and just do like one stripe, and then I follow again where it's kind of half on top and then the bottom part. So that way I get a clean line. And then like for this one, I would just go straight down with the side of my pen until I reach this top where it has more of a sharp bottom, and then I flip. And again, just follow my line with my pen. Kind of clean up edges as I go. If I see like something isn't blended correctly. Remember, when you're completely done, you can go back in with an eraser lightly and kind of erase any pencil lines. So don't worry about pencil lines right now. All right, so then on my P's, they're kind of one width completely all the way around. So I'm just going to follow the side of my pen again. And go down and then clean up that line. Same thing, top to bottom. And then follow it around. Oh, hold on, my computer just turned off. Okay. Then go to my Y, same thing. Follow that piece down. And then down for my Y. And then again, the Y is a little bit more closed off, so I'm actually going to ignore my pencil mark and just do the Y that I want. And then I'll come back through and erase that. Then from the top of my E, straight down. And this is where you can make things like thicker or thinner. Like maybe when you drew it, you did it a little too thick. So you can draw it thinner with your marker. Across. That's why I kind of, if I'm going to go in with this marker, I like to sketch out where it's thick on the picture, just so I can kind of get an idea of how to place my marker when I'm writing. And then the S, same thing, and it is connected to the A, so I'm actually going to connect this A up into my S, and then I'm going to go around and come down. Oh, it's just Boaz. Okay. Hi, Boaz. Sorry for that. And then my T or my cross. You know, it'd be a cool thing too, and I already did it, so I can't do it, is make your T a different color, like to represent like a cross. Like if you wanted to like make it yellow or purple, that would be a cool touch. If I hadn't already have done it black, I would have done that. You know when you get those thoughts right in the middle of when you're doing something, and you're like, oh, I could have done that. And then up. And then across. And then my R has a shorter arm than I drew. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that shorter R for my Easter. And then Peeps is just straight writing. So I'm just going to follow it with the thickest part of my marker. And then I'm going to fix this E a little bit. I'm not going to actually follow the E that I drew. I'm going to move this P over a little bit too. And then the S is a little bit longer and closer than what I drew. So I'm going to go a little bit closer and then longer. So Peeps. I'm just going to make this one a little bit thicker. So again, if you draw something and you're like, ooh, I don't like how that looks, you can go back through and make everything thicker or maybe like for my bottoms, I kind of want to make them a little bit longer. So I'm going to go back through, make them just a tad bit thicker on the end. All right, so happy Easter Peeps. I almost said Peaster. Peeps. Easter Peeps. All right, now with my black marker, I could go through and do that, or I could use my watercolors. I'm going to go ahead. They're pretty dry. I'm going to go ahead and just use my marker because it won't run since they're dry. So if you are using marker and you used watercolors, please make sure they're dry before you do your markers, or else your black marker will run all over the place. All right, and then after you add your faces, I always like going back around with black on absolutely everything because, I don't know, I have a thing about that. I feel like it just looks better if you do. You do not have to do this. You can call it done and sign it. But I just think everything looks good with a crisp black line. And I think you can like change the shape of things that you've drawn to or even finished painting. And I'm only tracing the outside lines because I'm going to go back through and erase my pencil. Sometimes it looks a little bit more whimsical if you don't do a black line. So if you're going for that kind of light look, then I would not trace. It's totally up to you. Hey, Jack, welcome. And that is it, guys. So, on their background, they just have a white background, so you can leave it white, or maybe you do want to pick a color and do it behind. Now that everything is pretty much dry, you can go ahead and just run your eraser over everything and get rid of those lines. Same thing with your bunnies. You can actually erase on top of your watercolors. Carrie, I'm not familiar with your smudge sticks, so maybe do like a test piece before you erase on top of it, because I don't know if it's oil-based. If it's oil-based, it might run. I don't know. I'm not familiar with them. So again, just kind of going around. And getting rid of any pencil marks. Now, this is another time where you can, after you erase all your pencil marks, you can go back in and maybe you want to add a little bit darker watercolors to your peeps. Like maybe they were too light for you. You could do that. And that is it. I think it looks super cute. I like this one. So thanks, Jasmine, for putting peeps in my head as I was looking for projects today. And I hope that you guys liked it. I think since the carrot one was the second highest voted picture, I will do the carrot one tomorrow. So if you guys were bummed that you couldn't paint the carrot one, come back tomorrow and I will do that one. And that is it. I think I'm pretty happy with all of it. I think I kind of like it without the peeps. I think it looks kind of cute that way. So I might cut mine out and post it differently. I feel like my peeps isn't centered. And that's bothering my analytical brain. So, all right, guys, I hope you like it. Have a great day. As always, it is so fun to do this with you. If you do a picture, please tag me in it or post it down below as a photo comment. Carrie, I'd love to see your card when you're done. So if you guys use this in like a unique way and you painted it as a card to give to family or friends, or you painted it on something else, I would absolutely love to see it. So please tag me in those. All right, guys, have a great day. Stay warm. Bye.